Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce is retiring after 13 seasons in the NFL. Kelce is, of course, the older brother of star Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Played his entire career with the Eagles and retires with a Hall of Fame resume. He is a 6-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl selection, and, of course, a Super Bowl champion. And very emotional at the announcement today.
Not a good start. There you go. There I lay.
All right, welcome back into HQ. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Tommy Tran, Brady, Quinn, and Danny Kanell here to talk about this. Obviously, a very emotional day when you call it a career. We knew that this was coming. It was reported back in January that he had informed his teammates that he was going to retire. Brady, when you look at Jason Kelce and the career that he had, just from a longevity standpoint, obviously playing 13 seasons in the league is big, but in terms of the type of impact that he had on his team and the position, I mean, how would you classify it?
I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think we know that based on his career accomplishments. The things that I take away is I feel like he kind of embodied what the city of Philadelphia is. I mean, you look at his toughness over the course of his career. Really, his second season, and only one other season you can look at where he missed any games. I mean, he was an Iron Man for this team. He was the glue that kept that group together. He was one of the reasons why they've been so successful with the tush-push. And it's really because of his technique and his ability as a center. No one else has been able to mimic that. So it's tough to see the emotions come out. But the reality is that's passion. That's love for the game. That's him understanding that he's going to venture into a different world and a new part of his life, a new chapter in his life. And it's hard to let go of the game of football. He's done an unbelievable job off the field preparing himself for this moment. But it is so hard to say goodbye. It's something that, you know, for a lot of us, we had done our entire lives up to this point. And it's what you a lot of times view your identity is. It's how everyone looks at you. And I think that's the hard thing moving forward is then not only kind of putting that identity to the side, but transforming into that next act, that next thing that you want to become. And for Jason Kelce, I think he's going to have a lot of doors open to him. But what a tremendous player, what a tremendous person too, and teammate that he was throughout the course of his career.
When was the last time we had a center that was like a cultural icon? You know, I mean, like, and it goes back to him dressing up like the mummer. And I think you stated it perfectly, Brady. Like, he embodies the city of Philadelphia more so than maybe every player that's ever played there. And they have embraced him. I think he's going to miss it. I think he knows. I mean, that's the thing you miss the most is the camaraderie, the camaraderie, the locker room, the players in there, the coaches, the day-to-day grind, which is the same thing that forces you to retire because it is a grueling, grueling industry, and we all know that very well. My favorite part of this is we talk about Tom Brady being a 6th-round draft pick all the time. You know who else was? Kelce. Jason Kelce was a 6th-round pick. Like, no one projected him to have the type of career that he did coming out of Cincinnati. But, you know, it speaks volumes to him working hard as an undersized center. I mean, he's not the biggest guy out there that's been able to figure out how to work fundamentals, how to be smart up front, direct traffic as a center, because that's what the center of that offensive line does. But it's been a tremendous career, and I think he's going to miss it. But he's going to have a ton of fun in a post-playing career as well. Broadcasting, he's already got the #1 podcast in the world with his brother, Travis. You know, he's going to have a lot of opportunities, and he's not going anywhere. But I think Philadelphia is going to miss him tremendously, including probably no one more so than Jalen Hurts.
You guys are both quarterbacks, so I want to ask you about that relationship, that quarterback-center relationship. In terms of Kelce being able to do it for as long as he did it with the quarterbacks that he did, how important is the center-quarterback relationship?
It's incredibly important. I mean, think about the start of every play. You know, it's the quarterback-center exchange that starts the play. And so you're entrusted with one another and ensuring that whether it's a shotgun snap or under center, that happens and the play gets going. You're also entrusted with a lot of the communication that happens before the snap of the football. It's the center, it's the quarterback. And so you really are kind of married to one another throughout the course of your career, and you're putting your trust and your faith in him that he's going to do his job every play, and part of that's protecting you and being a part of that group that's protecting you. So it's a very unique relationship, and I think for every quarterback out there, they have a special relationship with their center because you do put a lot of trust in that individual in protecting you and also helping you out there with the communication, which is a big piece of helping you be successful as a quarterback, taking some stuff sometimes off your plate. But that's how every single play started. And it's probably understated the importance of just every single snap throughout the course of his career, getting it done right and ensuring that he is the first guy in that line of defense, the closest to the defense, to be able to stop the defense from sacking you, hitting you. And so again, for Jalen Hurts, for everyone other quarterback that's played with Jason Kelce throughout the course of their career, I'm sure there's many who are very thankful for everything he was able to accomplish in protecting them.
Yeah, no doubt those quarterbacks have appreciated his ability up front to direct traffic. I mean, what Brady's alluding to is spot on about, you know, you're making a lot of calls sometimes. Now, as you're a veteran quarterback, you might point out the Mike linebacker, you might set the protection one way or another. But oftentimes for younger quarterbacks or newer quarterbacks on the team, that's the center's job. And you'll see the center up there directing traffic before he goes down and gets the ball. And a lot of quarterbacks, you know, rely on that. And oftentimes, even with a veteran quarterback, there's a communication. You know how many times we went up to the line of scrimmage, center looked around, was like double checking. All right, are we going to 52 or are we going to number 57? Like, where are we going? And kind of having a quick moment of, all right, let's make sure we're on the same page. And I oftentimes defer to the center, like, which way do you want to take it? You know, because sometimes the way you slide protections, it might be more advantageous for them to go to a different backer up front because it gives them better angles, better odds. So that relationship is so vital, and I'd say it's probably one of the most important relationships on the team. And then the relationship that the center has with the rest of the offensive line. He is the quarterback of the offensive line, where he's got to bark at him. Oftentimes, if he's the energetic guy, which Kelce is for this Eagles team, that goes so far in being able to get those guys going up every day in practice in the games so that they're ready to go. Because offensive linemen, they're kind of like cattle. You got to like herd them out there and make sure they're going in the right direction. Sometimes they need a little kick in the butt, and that's oftentimes what the center's job is to do, and he's done a phenomenal job doing that.
For 13 seasons.
Well, all right, Brady, Danny, appreciate your insight on one Jason Kelce. Again, as you digest his career profile, again, it's going to be tough for this Eagles team, which had Super Bowl aspirations and expectations. Changes to the coordinators. That defense will have some work, and now they'll have to replace a future Hall of Famer at the center position.